Representing Baselines Incorporated, he's the 2025 IBM Champion of the World, Kevin Murphy.
Hello, everybody. This is Kevin Murphy from Baselines Incorporated, your 2025 and hopefully 2026 IBM Champion of the World. I hope everybody's 2026 is going great so far. And we are starting the year off. This is the first Baselines Inc. video of 2026, and we're starting off with a banger. If you looked at the title, you're like, in engineering, why do I want to ever rubber stamp requirements? That's a horrible thing. And I'm more focused on getting the tools out of the way. So we've made an enhancement. This is going to be commercially available. You can contact us at sales@baselinesinc.com. But we've got essentially a plugin to EWM that makes the approval process from doors next in proposing your requirements and getting those change sets delivered, makes it so much easier. And it reduces friction and improves efficiency. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Okay, so right here, I'm in doors next, and you can see that in order to make any changes, I have to work in a new or existing change set. If I go and I look at my global configuration here, I'm in the V8 engine. So when I look at the V8 engine properties, in order to deliver a change set, I have to have a link to an approved work item, this is great practice. This is what I recommend everybody do at a certain point. When your requirements are mature on the project, you want to have oversight. You don't want just anybody changing them willy-nilly. So this is perfect, and this is what we want. But unfortunately, if you don't know the tools, or if you're new to the tools, or you're just kind of new to how IBM design things, they may not work the way that you would like. So the first thing I need to do is actually propose my changes. So I'll go ahead and I'll create a change set. All right. So my change set is created, and you can see here, there it is. And it's not linked to a work item yet. We'll do that in a second. So let me make a change. We'll change this 400 to 500. Okay, things are going great so far, right? Let's just say that's the only change we needed to make. So we've got our change set. If I go to deliver the change set must be linked to an approved change request to be delivered. Well, that's pretty easy. Now, one thing we can do is we can go here, we can go to link to a work item, and I can actually create a new work item, which I'm going to do. I'm going to create a new task, okay? And I'll say update the requirement for YouTube. All right. So this is going to be a brand new work item. Whoops. Silly me, I go too fast. So update the requirements for YouTube video. All right, I'll put the file against just in case, but really the summary is that's all that's needed. And I'll go ahead and click OK. And what's going to happen is, in this case, it's EWM. And this is where the problem really is in the tool is EWM. So it's going to go ahead, it's going to create that ticket, and it's going to link it. So here's item 114 in EWM. I'll go ahead and open that in another tab. So far, so good. I hope everybody's with me. All right, so I have created a custom state. This is not out of the box, but I'm going to go to approved task, and now this is approved. All right, my work item's approved. Let's try to deliver it. I get the same result. Like, this is the same error. What gives? That doesn't make any sense, right? Well, it actually does, because what IBM, when they designed this, they wanted everybody to be working online, and not everybody does, or maybe this is still too burdensome. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to come here and add an approval, YouTube approval, right? And then you add approvers. And then those approvers have to go in and then approve, okay? So I can come in and I can click save, and then I can deliver the work. I can deliver my change set in doors next, okay? So that can be that's a lot of extra steps, okay? And that's not good. We want to reduce the steps. So this is perfect if you're in a medical device field, or you've got a very mature project where there has to be a lot of oversights. But if you're in the middle of a project, you want maybe you've got an offline change control board that's doing their thing and they're just approving tickets offline, and then it's somebody's job to go ahead and set them to approved. You don't want them to have to do this every single time. So I made a plugin, and this is really awesome because it's just integrated. Like you would think it was just out of the box with the way that it works. So I'm not going to save this. Let's go ahead and hit refresh here. Now I am in the approved state. I'm going to go ahead and complete this and then reopen it just to show you how this works. All right. So we'll pretend we never did any of that. We're in progress. The requirements still can't be delivered. So I'm over here in the EWM admin panel, and I can go into precondition and follow-up actions, and you can see on save work item, there's a precondition. And I'm going to click add, and because I developed this and this is on mine, this is not out of the box in EWM. You have to get this from Baselines Inc. Okay, but there's this auto add approval for state. So I click OK, and then you can set orders. So I'm going to put it here at the top. But then on the right here, it is asking, okay, well, what state should trigger auto approve? And by the way, you can see this debug here. So I've been debugging it and making it, and it's just, it's been a lot of fun. But anyway, for my task, I want the task to be approved. When the task is set to approve, basically what this is going to do is going to automatically create the approval. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Okay, we're done. Okay. I'm going to hit refresh here just to make sure that that process loads. And I am going to then say approve task. And look, it added that. There's no magic there. It automatically approved via precondition Kevin Murphy. And the reason it's me is because I'm the one driving. If it was somebody else, if it was you driving, that would be approved by you. And it's automatically saved. And now when I go back and I go ahead and I click deliver change set, it is going to allow me to deliver that change. Bingo. So my change set is delivered. I can go to my links and I can see if I hit refresh, yep, it's delivered now, and we can go ahead and complete this ticket. Okay. Just to kind of demonstrate a couple of other things about this real quick. When I reopen it, that approval is still there because that was an approval. Okay. And if I hit here, approve task and save, it doesn't create another one because there's already an approval on it. Although it is thinking, right? But here's the cool thing. If I delete that and I click save, well, you don't get to do that, right? It is an auto approval. It just puts a new approval right back on. So there's no getting rid of it. Okay. So there's that. And then the final thing I want to show. So I'm going to create a work item and I'm going to create a new task. Set this task to approved via REST API. So where this really comes in is if you're using things like the IBM Engineering Integration Hub, also known as Planview, also known as Tasktop, you might have something like another endpoint like Azure DevOps or Jira, and you don't have an LC adapter, but those tools can sync data. So they can sync information from a ticket in Jira or in Azure DevOps or a work item there. And basically, if that's where all the approvals happen, but you want to use this functionality within Doors Next to control delivery of change sets with EWM. So what it can do is it can synchronize that data. So if the ticket is approved over in, say, Azure DevOps, then it would be approved over here, but somebody would still have to go in and create that approval, but not with our plugin, right? So I'm going to show that this works. So right now we're in progress, okay? And I'm going to hit my REST client. And what I'm going to do, this is going to be real technical, right? I'm going to do a get, okay? I'm going to do a get. Okay. And that ticket was 115. So I need to do the get on 115. And I've got that action here, which it doesn't matter, right? If I come back to 115, nothing has changed. I hit refresh, right? It's there's no approval here or anything. I'm just kind of I'm setting the stage. There's this thing called an E tag that I have to get and put into my request. So there's my E tag. All right, headers. And what I'm doing here, for if you don't really understand this, is I am simulating what an automation would do. So this could be a Python script, a batch script. It could be engineering integration hub. It could be, anything that can do an automation would call on this, on work item 115, right? Which is in progress, does not have an approval. Okay. When it gets set to be approved, which is what I'm about to do, I'm going to do a put here and we're going to set this to be approved. Okay. That's an HTTP 200. I get it back. I come here. And if I wait a second, it'll eventually tell me, hey, this has changed. Yep, it did. I hit refresh anyway, but boom, because it was set to approved, and I was the user that was signed in, then it says automatically approved via precondition. We're done, and I could then link this to a change set that would then allow it to be delivered. So I hope all of that makes sense. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to contact sales@baselinesync.com. And this is Kevin Murphy signing off and saying happy engineering.